Hey guys, I'm back again, and today we're going to be looking at Arnjolf. I have been playing a lot of him today on stream, finding actually more success than I thought I would, to be quite honest, with this leader. He is quite powerful in round 3 particularly, as a sort of nice finisher, guy giving you a lot of synergy with the rest of your deck, the Bloodthirst and all of that. We'll go into, the card specifics as always, but actually quite cool. I don't know how strong he is exactly. I don't think he's top tier or even that close to it, but other Skellige leaders like Crach are probably better, for example. But he surpassed my expectations, I think. I was kind of expecting him to fail miserably, but he didn't. He won a fair amount of games. And yeah. So what is the idea of this deck anyway? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of that. Well, obviously Arnjolf gives you those lovely sirens which are damaged, and that's going to synergize really well with so many Bloodthirst cards that we are running. So kind of the main ways we're getting value from that ability are Champion's Charge, which is a spell that destroys a unit if you have 3 Bloodthirst guys on the board. 3 damaged enemy units. We also have Donar, who gets a nice 5-point bash, giving him 9 for 8 provisions, which is very good. We also have Svanrigger, who's 11 for 8 if you have the Bloodthirst 3, so that's very, very powerful in conjunction with Arnjolf. We also have Lugos, who's quite surprisingly good, especially in that round 3. You can get the 3 Bloodthirst guys going, and you can damage maybe a couple of extra units and have him hitting for really big damage. So he's quite powerful, especially against units that are tall, high strength and whatnot. And we have Alderic, if you can count that, and of course Pirate Captains. But typically you want to maybe give these guys the Bloodthirst enabled earlier in the game, especially with the Captains, right? Get rid of them in round 1, for example. There are some ways we can do that. We have light longships, which, solid 5 for 5, and can, of course, proc the Bloodthirst and give you some removal for small value units such as Neckers, Drowners, whatever. We have Spears as well to help out with that, and these just will hopefully allow you to win a long round, probably round 1. If you find them there, that can be quite nice, and then use your leader for round 3 to take that with the Bloodthirst synergy. So yeah, I was experimenting without Spears. I think Spears makes sense. If you aren't getting artifact removed by your opponent, then they're pretty damn good. Now, if you are running into a lot of artifact removal, you can definitely take these out and play something along the lines of Ulfhedin and Jenge. That was what I was running before. So that is an alternative if you're worried about artifact removal. And we'll see if I run into that at all, but I think only Scoia'tael's running it in en masse at the moment. There's a couple of artifact removals here and there, but yeah, I think the Spears are pretty important to enable Bloodthirst in round 1. Skell, there's some nice removal. We also have the Unicorn Chironex for some just good points, and Blue Dream as well. Quite a few Unicorn Chironex being played. Blue Dream is also just insanely strong against Woodland and any monster deck that is running the big dudes, right? And ghouls. You can just take their big unit, deny them the ghoul value as well. Really, really powerful. And we of course have Morkvarg, Burner, the Skirmishers, all this regular Skellige package. I don't have Duran in this list because I think he's a bit too weak in this sort of a deck where you're relying on big value. If you think about it, you already have enough discards with both Skalds and Burner to get rid of all of your kind of, discard synergy cards, the Skirmishers, the Morkvarg, and an extra one. So in theory, you shouldn't really be bricking ever. I guess Duran just allows you to get through your whole deck, but I don't think you need to do that with this, where you have so many different ways to get value from the Bloodthirst. As long as you have 1 or 2 of them, then you're probably fine. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Marauder, of course, the red coin play. You could probably play 2 of these actually, instead of maybe a Pirate Captain or whatever. Maybe I should be running that, but I wasn't, and I put in Spears and didn't change it. Anyway, that's the deck. Pretty fun one. Arnjolf is definitely good to, it feels really good to play, even if it isn't the strongest leader out there. But yeah, I was enjoying this deck a lot today, and let's see if we can maybe win a couple of games. Okay, we're going to be up against Mr. Morvran. What a lovely guy. See how we can do. So, of course, Witches are a brick. We're going to be wanting to win this round with Spears if we can, but we don't have any in hand at the moment. You can also just use the Longships to get the Bloodthirst enabled. Probably go for that. In terms of mulligans, I don't really want to take any. So we have Marauder. We could get rid of Champion's Charge, I suppose, if we don't want to play it round 1. That might be clever, actually, and then a Witcher. I think I like this. Alright, so we unfortunately can't kill that with Marauder because he does take the buff, but we can shoot it still. And of course we've got the Skalds with the Skirmishers, which is always good. And we'll be wanting to play the Longships out pretty early here as well to enable Bloodthirst. Sorry if there are noises, by the way. Wait, I can probably mute those. There we go. Alright, sorry about that. So, what do we want to go with next? Probably just another longship. We might not need them since we don't have much Bloodthirst synergy in hand, only the Pirate Captain. We'll see how that goes. He might lock it up though, and then, yeah, we'll need another one for sure. But we'll see. Otherwise, we've definitely got Witches this turn to thin out. Pretty much as long as we are able to play Arnjolf in round 3, we're really happy and we're often winning the game.
What is it now?
Against a few decks you'll have to bleed, I guess, but on the whole, if you can avoid that, it's pretty good news. Because his round 3 is actually very strong with all the Bloodthirst synergy. Surprisingly strong, actually. Things like Lugos are kind of in a way engines, right? The more damage units there are, the more value you get. The longer the round is, the more value you get in many ways. Especially with Spears as well in this deck. Does help out a lot. So Slave Infantry are going to be annoying. It's going to be very tricky to deal with. But we can play maybe Pirate Captain now. And kill one of them. Actually, that's not even a good idea, right? If we want to kill a different unit so we keep the Bloodthirst available, yeah. Definitely. This is better. And damaging these guys in case he has more Slave Inventories, of course, which could get him big value. He probably won't. Usually they're playing Morvran Shoop, I think, at the moment. But we'll see. Maybe he's trying some tricky stuff. We've also got to be careful not to fall behind 2 firing points. And kind of nice that we get the leader charge there, although it might mean we have to pass here. We've got 2 6-point plays and a 9, so the most points we can make is 17 with these 2. It's not going to get us ahead, so I think we have to take a pass here and hope we don't get completely bled out. This will happen quite often because the round 1 of this deck isn't too strong. It can be if your opponent plays slowly, but if they do tempo in a big way like he did, then it's not so, fast to get going. We do of course have spears and such, which can be quite good though. Mulligans here, we could probably get rid of Captain, not going to be too great, and then keep that in case of Witcher Brick. We can of course do a lot of thinning this round if he plays into it. And Unicorn Carionex is looking good. We would love to find some more kind of synergies and whatnot. So how about playing a Skald here? It's not too bad, right? Kind of want to discard Skald with Skald, but then we risk hitting Morkvarg. I'm not even sure that's that bad. Guess we can also hit Witcher, but I actually like this. Just mulligan the Witches away. I mean, we could even play them, I suppose, but there's no point. Get an extra mulligan as well, which makes this line of play safer. And we'll see if we can translate this into something nice. He probably has Bomb Heaver, or, I mean, you can always roll Shoop for artifact removal if he wants to, so having 2 is actually going to be nice here, because we'll definitely get value in some way. How good is Blue Dream right now? Not amazing, but worth keeping, I think. And probably the rest of the hand is fine. I don't want to risk bricking. We can start with Spears. Get as much value from them as possible. They'll probably get removed, but whatever. Maybe they won't, and then we'll win if they don't get removed. If they do, we might be struggling a little bit. As is the way quite often in life when you're playing artifacts. But we'll see what he's got up his sleeve. Arnjolf, of course, definitely quite strong. I was running a lot of different versions of it, and I quite enjoyed Lacerate in this deck, because you can kill all the little spawns from Arnjolf when you play him. It's kind of nice. And it looks like he doesn't have artifact removal. That's actually pretty huge. If he doesn't, we're probably in good shape to just win. Can just enable Bloodthirst on our guys, which we don't have in hand at the moment, but we're pretty damn likely to draw into some of the Bloodthirst stuff. Looks like he's going to go for that artifact removal. A little bit surprised he didn't do that immediately, but fair enough. Okay. And both the charges coming down. He's trying to deny the Bloodthirst, I guess. But it's not really going to matter too much. Now we're definitely in trouble if he can remove this second one, because that's just going to be a lot of value lost for us. I mean, we're already behind 9 points. Albeit we still have our leader, so... Yeah, and Shoop's gone, which is meant to be his biggest play, I guess. Burner coming up, which is nice, and... Yeah, not too shabby plays, but... So I learned today you can't res Shoop anymore. You used to be able to lock him and then... You know, res him from the graveyard, but you can't do that anymore, unfortunately. They actually changed that. He still gets locked, and the Doomed, you know, he can still be resurrected, but he doesn't do any effect if you do that. I guess it was a little bit imbalanced, if you could res your own one, or whatever. Maybe. So I think we just Burner here, give us more options. Allow us to proc the Spear as well, of course. And there's some of our Bloodthirst synergy. We don't have Lugos, which is a bit of a shame. But, you know, Champion's Charge and the Svanriga are definitely not bad. And of course Unicorn Caranex are just there for big points. Should be looking good.
They're dead already.
And it looks like he doesn't have a way to remove the second artifact, so that's nice. I think we definitely want to kill this Serret, and we can do that with Skjall and then shooting him. Because that might represent the best, you know, option for us to take. From...
I fear nothing.
His graveyard, right? Maybe we'll see like a Unicorn or Caranex at some point, that's also possible. But we'll just keep it chill. I mean, we're still a card down and points down, which is always not a nice feeling. Hopefully our big tempo plays will be enough. Compared to his. He's already played quite a few of the power cards. We know Orcs is one card in his hand right now, which isn't too hot. The rest of our hand is all golden and pretty powerful, so he might be winning. Who knows? Who knows? Still gonna have to, you know, play the round well, not give away points unnecessarily or whatever. I do think the play here is probably Unicorn. He's already wasted the lock, so I'm not worried about it getting locked. And I'm scared of Peter, which is why I don't want the 8-point buff necessarily. This has enabled both of our units that deal with this, and we probably want to play around Leo if possible. So I'm gonna, you know, aim for that. Maybe playing Svanriga and Arnjolf as our last play if possible. That'll be pretty nice, I think. So here I think it's Champion's Charge. Unfortunately the Spear is losing a bit of value here because we don't have units to actually synergize with it, but that's okay I think. We really need to brick the Witcher, right? I'm going to take a Sire, but I don't think that's very good. Don't have Roach in this deck, of course. So. There's Peter. So I believe now is probably the Caranex play. We can just kill the Ifrit. That might be a potential steal if we need it. We can shoot Peter. It's looking pretty... Oh wait, we don't have last say. What am I talking about? So we can't ever... Yeah, that's annoying. We can't ever deny the Leo play. I was going to go for that, but I just realised I don't have last say, so I can't. It's Blue Dream now, I guess. Wait, is we also do an 8-point Slave Infantry? I guess the Ifrit's probably better, right? Because he might have Unicorn. We need to kill that. Unfortunately, that doesn't count as a Spear proc. Arnjolf does though, so we can kind of do a double Spear on the final turn, which is kind of cool. Pretty nice. Oh no, Isabel of Haga. So he gets a free card. That's very bad news. Probably will be enough for him to take it, although we'll see. We do get a lot of points here.
Wanna know why I've got my scar?
Wanna know why I've got my scar? We'll see. 12 points. It should be doable for him because he gets an extra card from that. Isabel, unfortunately. I took my card. See if it's good enough.
I'll do as you ask.
I mean, Leo on his own is doing it. Yep. No! So card advantage, not in our favour there. Was not able to be a win. What am I saying? I'm tired, guys. I've had a long day of streaming and push-upping. Anyway, let's play another game and see if we can take the next one. Alright, Gernakoro next opponent. We'll see if we can deal with this one. Nithrol's pretty common in monsters, and most people are playing like one artifact removal, right? So maybe we shouldn't be playing spears. Ah, whatever. Either way, I think we can mulligan probably the Marauder. I mean, we can keep Marauder since we have spear. It's not too bad actually. Pirate Captain can go then, and I think this guy. Ah, we probably keep. Okay, sorry. Play spear on the back row. Oh, he's got the Gernakora skin. Gernakora. That's quite spooky. That's actually pretty cool. I thought it was just a recolor to white, but it's more detailed and cool than that. Alright, Marauder time. We probably want to shoot first, because we'll get an extra ping with the spear.
Arnjolf's been chosen. The gods speak to him.
Oh yeah, I like that. Very cool. Killing the Thrive unit and not even killing the fruit. So we can just pass, end turn, and we'll get to shoot spear twice next turn instead. Really good. There's no artifact removal. This will really help us win the first round. Ooh, that Arc Spore's also going to get wrecked by spear. Wow. So we can go for that, and then maybe a longship now. Refresh the spear again. And we always have the option to shoot twice if we need to. Even her mouth like lights up. That's pretty awesome. So we can kill the Drowner, which is nice. I'm actually going to play Witches here because I definitely want to thin them out, and I might want to play the Skald rather than the Longship in this round. We already have one source of damage to get Bloodthirst enabled and to kill his engines. I don't know if we'll need two. I'm going to assume we won't. Maybe that'll be incorrect, but... yeah, I guess we could play a Longship just to be able to remove the Necker next turn. It's not too bad. Yeah, go for that. Really shutting down all the Thrive units here, which is pretty awesome. I'm not using really any of our, you know, super good cards. I mean, he isn't either, but...
Soon, sisters. Very soon.
if we're able to win round one, that would be very nice. I think we go for this. Probably shoot, so we're out of range of professional, not professional, just normal Geralt, sorry. We can play the Skald, of course.
Hey, listen here. Listen well.
I think we'll hold on to Morkvad because we don't need the tempo right now.
Crach and eat me good.
Doesn't seem like we do anyway. And we don't need to shoot with the artifact, we can wait. Yeah. We just get to shoot next turn basically, right? We can definitely shoot with this Longship though. We may as well save the damage and allow ourselves to do 2 shots. I guess if we're passing here, then we should have played it. Played the, you know, the 1 ping. That is quite difficult to deal with. Well, not to deal with, but... don't really have a good play to make here. I guess Champion's Charge is alright. I'd rather just pass though. Go for that. Just take a pass. Yeah, so maybe shooting spear was actually proper, but whatever. I don't think the 1 point will make a difference really. That wouldn't have. So now the trick is not losing round 2, not getting bled. If we can make it to round 3 with our Arnjolf or potentially with card advantage, then we should be in a good spot to win against monsters with Champion's Charge, for example, as a way to kill their big dudes, and Blue Dream as a way to take their big dudes. This is a really nice combo, of course. The rest is probably fine. We could mulligan again if we want to find some good stuff. I think we do. Spear is, you know, debatable how good it is. Here it might actually brick us a little bit, but we will play it, I think. It's actually quite good, probably, because it allows us to get Bloodthirst without committing our leader, which is really quite nice. If we're able to save him for round 3, it will give us a bit of an edge. Okay, now the question is, can I do it in 1 if I start with Spear? I don't think I can. I guess Yeah, unfortunately Caldwell isn't enough. So probably I can't start with it. It's just a bit too risky. I think if I lose the card, we're going to be in trouble. In that case, probably a Scald it is, right? Just go with that. Pretty solid 9-point play, and that's a great pickup. Because that'll give us some really big pushing power in this round if we need it. And we might need it. I think we need to play the spear now, otherwise we're being a bit risky really. But then again, it's only 2 points, so we would need a very large play. It's not really anything that can afford us that. Yeah, I don't think we can afford to go down in cards, so we probably just play Unicorn, right? And wait it out. Hopefully it'll work. Being bled is very scary for sure with this deck. Don't like it when that happens. Yeah, I think the spear was bad. Maybe we didn't want a mulligan. It's just very, very low tempo. So when you're getting bled in a situation like this, it's kind of horrible to have. You can play it, but it's 2 points effectively, right? I mean, is he going to go all in? Maybe we just gamble that he won't. It's possible, right? I suppose the issue is, without the spear, how am I even enabling Bloodthirst? I think I have to play it. How am I even enabling the cards here that I need to play later? Could definitely take a pass here and it would be quite painful. Looks like he's going to go for it. So, do we choose to keep our leader? Or not? That's really the question here. I think we shouldn't, to be honest, guys. I think we shouldn't. The reason being, we're not really going to have last save for Champion's Charge or Lugos or whatever to work anyway. Play Lugos here.
Wow, what is it?
Is it enough? Wait, it might not be enough. Should shoot first, and then it's enough.
I make the laws here.
Can ping out that pesky skirmisher, which might be dead later. That felt kind of bad, to be quite honest, but I'm not sure what we could have done differently. We could have kept the leader, but I'm not sure I'm going to get value, like as much value from him next round anyway. Burner's not looking too hot, so I think we just get rid of the bad cards, which are Burner and the Pirate, actually. To be fair, we're going to actually struggle to get any Bloodthirst value, really. So we do have a nice, juicy Osrel to take. Guess that'll be our first play, right? Steal his Osrel, consume a unit from the opponent's graveyard, and eat that Goliath. Not a bad play. So I guess the problem is the Gunakora is going to get him a fair amount of points, and our Bloodthirst might not be enabled here. Maybe his spear play wasn't as good as anticipated.
Let's get this over with.
Garrot's going to be pretty painful. Could have been worse, I guess, but pretty bad. If he can remove Ulderic, I think we're definitely out, because we'll have no way to enable the Bloodthirst at that point. We really need to get Champion's Charge value to have any hope here. As well as Svanrigger, of course. Yeah, looks like he's got it. And that's going to seal our fate, unfortunately. Damn! Yeah, maybe spears aren't correct, to be quite honest, but I don't know. Maybe they're not the way. Maybe they aren't the way, guys. Either way, I don't think we can make the points here. It's just not going to be possible, right?
We've no time to lose.
Unfortunately. It happens.
Don't teach your grandma to suck
Which
eggs.
does indeed happen, where you don't have the points. And yeah, really we're very, very vulnerable to bleeding, I suppose, is the main issue. Kind of need to push round 1, and it's hard to do that sometimes without the necessary tools. Anyway, not often that we get a 2-loss deck. I do stand by the fact that this is not great, but probably close to the best for Arnjolf. Unfortunately, he's just not the best leader ever. There are probably better Skelliger alternatives, but I wanted to bring you the Arnjolf deck that I'd been grinding away with today anyway, with, not too much success, but either way, hope the gameplay was enjoyable still, and my commentary of it, my scuffed commentary, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.